A nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
Okay, people. You've heard me talk about this for 1,000 times about Salesforce, about these IT certifications, things of that nature. And right here, you can see that this is what they pay for different projects. Now, they just uploaded this a few minutes ago. Today is Sunday the 11th. So they just uploaded this, $45 to $70 an hour. That's what they're willing to pay. Now, why am I saying this? Because a lot of people are like, well, you know, I went to that website, thebecomingproject.org, and I didn't see, she never responded. That's over, people. She's about to start the class. The time is now. This is the email right here that she gave, or they sent me. Now, this date is wrong. This is not the date when the class is going to be. It's not going to be July 24th. It's going to be June 24th. But she's basically starting the class at 9 a.m. and the class will be online. You don't have to be in a classroom in Atlanta to take the class. She said, respond to the email. I'm going to you see the email up top, but I'm going to give you a close up of the email. And this is the thing. Why am I saying this? Because this will allow you to leapfrog over those barriers that we face economically. This will allow you to get, to a position of financial stability. See, now this is them correcting the email, that the initial email she sent. She said, the actual date of the class is Saturday, June 24th, 2017 at 9 a.m. instead of July. So that's her, Mia Richardson, the Becoming Project. So this is the thing. We are without excuse, black people. We are. I'm going to give you the emails. These are the emails right here coming up in a second. These are the emails, right? So, you could do these two emails up top. The class is free. The lady ain't even charging, man. There's no excuse. The class is free. So you don't have to struggle with trying to get into IT. You don't. I'm going to take some screenshots of my resume, my initial resume. I'm going to show you how I first got started, because that's the key, to get how we're going to get started, how we're going to get in there. And I always get asked that question when I talk about IT and things of that nature. People say, well, how do I get started? When I first started, the way it worked out was I had to get a what was it? I was trying to get an Oracle certification. Oracle at the time was called OCA, Oracle Certified Associate. And I took the test. It was hard, man, and I failed the test. I didn't take any classes. I just read books, and I failed, but I barely failed, like by one question, like that type of stuff. Like I was right there. Like I could have got the certification, but by then I knew enough about SQL to get a job, right? So I started putting my resume out, and what I did, I'm just gonna tell the truth. What I did was I lied on my resume. I'm just gonna tell it. I'm gonna keep it one. I'm gonna keep it $1, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I lied on my resume to get my foot in the door. I didn't have any certifications, but this lady at this class that I just showed you, everybody that takes her test passed the certification test. So therein, you got no excuse, because everybody that takes her certification course passes. So that'll pretty much put you where you got to go, So, as I was saying, I started trying to get the course, trying to get some sort of understanding of what to do and stuff like that. And what happened was, I wound up interviewing for jobs, and I was barely, be able to answer their questions and stuff like that, right? So what happened after that was I found this place called Set Focus, which I think is now defunct. I don't even think they're around anymore. But Set Focus, the beautiful thing about Set Focus, all I had to do was just sign up. That was it. I signed up, I took a test, and when you take the test, they send you this thing to be able to what is it? They used to send you this thing that where you work at home, and basically you work at home in a group. Sorry, people, I'm trying to do two things at once. But you work at home in a group setting, right? And what happened is, once it's like they send you this thing, and when you talk, you have to have your microphone muted. But when you talk, you would be in the center of the screen, and it would be interactive. And everybody would be sitting at home in their house, but they would be getting training for Set Focus, and they would train you on T-SQL. That's how I got into T-SQL, which is a different brand of SQL. SQL, if you're not familiar with it, is a structure. I guess an acronym is the word for. It's an acronym for structured query language. It's basically the language of databases, talking to databases, basically. So that's what I did. That's what I joined, right? So I got into that. I took the training, and as you can see, I'm gonna put a screenshot. Like I said, in the screenshot, I took a screenshot of the Set Focus training. It was intense. It says the Set Focus SQL Server Masters program is an intensive, hands-on, project-oriented program where participants gain knowledge and valuable experience putting the SQL Server skill set to use in a simulated work environment. That's exactly what it was. I worked in groups. We would have scrum meetings in the morning. We would have are there any roadblocks? We literally were like, I had a scrum master. I was the DBA of the group. I created jobs, which, if you're not familiar with a job, basically a job is something that's ran by SQL Server Agent, which is some functionality of SQL Server Management Studio, which is what manages the databases for Microsoft. So if you have Microsoft's brand of databases is called SQL Server. SQL Server has functionality in it called SQL Server Agent, which is almost like a person. What is like an automated scheduler that basically executes jobs. Jobs are steps if you want to go run a program, so to speak, or what they call it stored procedures. If you want to run that stored procedure at a set time, then you have to create a job to go run it. If you want to run an SSIS package, which may do other things besides a job, it may move files, it may send an email, it may, take a backup of a database, it may update statistics on a particular database. You can set it to run at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody's asleep. This is something that I learned from. Well, I didn't learn this. I learned this myself, but this is what I dealt with at that course. It says created numerous simple and complex queries involving self-joins, correlated subqueries, CTEs, and XML techniques for diverse business requirements. Tuned and optimized queries by altering database design, analyzing different query options, and indexing strategies. So that's just part of what I did. You know, I created SSIS packages. I created reports. I really did a lot of work. Now, a lot of this stuff you really don't have to know. I'm talking to you about Salesforce. And if you're coming into IT with no experience and you're trying to get into Salesforce, don't worry about it. When you take this Salesforce class with the becomingproject.org, if you're not familiar with it, go to the becomingproject.org, sign up. The class is free. It's a black lady, Christian lady. She just want to help people. I know they say Christians are weak and whatever, but this lady's trying to help people financially. Because I'm gonna tell you something, the average black person does not make $70,000 a year. The average American probably doesn't make $70,000 a year. Truth be told. The average household income of a white family, I think, is what, 65, 70? And you make it, I mean, you may be higher than that, but even still, no, it's not. It's not. Because the average household income of an Indian family is $100,000 of the average Indian family. Then they're the highest earning families in the country. I think it's either them or Taiwanese or something. It's like 105, 110. So if you by yourself single-handedly able to bring home 85, 90, 100, you're pretty much you're a top earner. You're not the top earner, because the average household wealth, I mean, high top 1% earners now need to make, I think it's like 300,000, some 200, depending on what state you live in. It varies for top 1% earners, but the national average is over 2 something. It used to be years ago. It was just you could make 100,000, 110, 120. You're top 1%. Not anymore. So I think it's top 5%. I can't even remember. I think it's top 5% is a certain percentage, but you're in the top 10% if you're making north of $90,000. Easy. You're a top 10% earner. That means out of every 10 people in America, period, white or black, you are making more money than those out of 9 of them. If you make over $90,000 a year, this will get you there. This will get you there. We need to have a long-term approach. And what do I mean? You can take this test. You could pass. And as you look at some of these videos that I have streaming through the screen, what you're seeing is some of these jobs may pay only $50,000, $60,000. I mean, to start. Let's be honest. Before I got into IT, $50,000 was a lot of damn money to me. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay? $50,000 was a nice piece of change. It would be a nice piece of change for the average black person in this country, because the average black person doesn't make $1,000 a week. Okay? We don't. I mean, I'm from Montgomery. The average household income in Montgomery for the African American in Montgomery is $35,000. Household income, $35,000. If you make $50,000, $60,000, you can technically afford a $200,000, $250,000. I wouldn't go do that, but you can go get a $200,000 house, because they'll let you take 40% of your take home and pay the mortgage, which is stupid. But I wouldn't take but 20% of my take home, 20, 25 at the most, 10% for a car. If you're trying to find it, you want to have a lot of money left over when you're finished. That's take home. But that's another video. But I put this out because I want to help people. This Set Focus course cost me $14,000. They went out of business. I never paid a dime. I'm just gonna be honest. They never called. They never asked. Because by the time I got to where now I'm gonna be honest. After I took this course, I went to a company in Birmingham called Integrate, right? And once I took the course, it really helped me in a lot of areas. Because in the interview, the next interview I took after that, I aced it because I had taken this course and it really filled in a lot of the gaps and cracks as to what I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So, and I took that course. I think it says January of 2011. So, literally 6 years ago, or a little over 6 years. Been going on 7 years now. So, that's that. But before then, I didn't really have any experience. I didn't. This course helped me. Now, the beautiful thing about this course is it will technically give you experience because you've been trained. you can, now what you can do, the beautiful thing about Salesforce is you can actually log in to the Salesforce platform and start working and doing certain things. You know, you could go into Salesforce and start creating certain templates and certain things, within the Salesforce environment. Unlike SQL Server, you could download SQL Server and start playing with SQL Server as well. But if you don't know SQL Server, it's a lot more intimidating to just go in there and just start coding. It is. If you've never coded before, you just go in there and just start coding. It's intimidating. Salesforce is just like a point and click platform. It's almost like a damn email training. Email. It's like an email. You just go in and you just start working with it. It's got certain tabs. And, it's a lot of things that you work with every day that you're not familiar with, actually, that are kind of like Salesforce. Just point and click. It's not any real code per se, which makes it a lot easier to do, to assimilate into doing. So all you have to do is just take your time and learn, man. Once you learn this, go take the first job you can get. If you get a job for $45,000, take it. You know why? All you got to do is work there about 6 months. That's it. That's the dirty little secret. Once you work somewhere for 6 months, and the beautiful thing about IT, people that I've noticed, people will give you a good reference. So when you go into any job, you talk to people, you'll get a reference. Now you have a professional reference, right? You take that job, you keep it. You might have it 6 months, you might have it 9 months. It's just $50,000, whatever. Now you got experience. Now you can ask for some real substantial change. Now they have junior jobs, but I'm gonna tell you what these companies doing. They think they're slick. What they're doing is a lot of times they want a guy that has all the training and knows what to do, but they don't want to pay, right? I'll take a job like that. When I'm first getting started, I'll take a job like that. I have over 7 years of experience in period. If you got experience, period, in anything, I don't give a damn if you work at the Geek Squad for Best Buy. That's experience. That's what people don't know. That job at Best Buy is hard to get, and I'm gonna tell you why. Your ass got to work in the computers for 6 months before that, or you got to have an A+ certification, Network Plus certification. You got to have all that, right? But if you're gonna do that, now you can go study for the A+ and Network Plus in a couple of days and get those certifications. I wouldn't touch those certifications. I really wouldn't. A+ is fixing computers. I think Security Plus, I'm not even familiar. I think that's got to do with security, as far as securing for worrying about viruses and people understanding that type of stuff. I don't want to fool with that. I don't. I'm trying to give you certifications. As you can see, I'm giving you certifications that's going to get your ass some money. See what I'm saying? That's what matters. Certifications that are going to pay. These certifications ain't giving money. They not paying nobody, man. They're not giving nobody money. These certifications I'm putting up are going to make sure and ensure that you're able to get out here and make some real change. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, man. I'm going to put a video up here of a guy who took the course after 2 weeks of study off of a damn $30 course called Udemy.com. Now you can go pay Udemy, or you can sign up with this lady here, and she hands-on, and she right there, and she'll answer your questions. You'll be able to interact with her. She's got she's going to have something based through the web where she's going to, and it's going to be every night. You're going to have to probably clear out a couple hours every night for the class, 2 or 3 hours a day for 3 weeks. But so what? Okay? I would do that in a heartbeat. I would clear that out in a heartbeat. You hear me? Know why? Because to me, that's important. That's important. I would make time for 3 weeks if I'm going to make this kind of money that I'm showing y'all. Some of these jobs are paying in the hundreds, man. 140, 150,000. Now, and see, I'm going to tell you the beautiful thing about me getting into this. I got 7 years experience. So if I go out there, I'm not going to bat an eye when I ask for anything north of 100 and whatever. I'm gonna have to. Now I can get that now, right? But the thing is, I'm doing a different. It's what I do is actually more difficult. Anytime you do, like, for example, I'm a database developer. The developer, and I'm gonna give you a little insight into this business. The developer creates new functionality. What do I mean? I took a project at careerbuilder.com. I had to work on a table that literally, because when you go into Career Builder, they give you an ID. I don't give a damn if whoever you are. If you as an individual user, when you go into Career Builder, you have an ID that shows your ID when you log into Career Builder. That ID is then saved. Every time you go into Career Builder, especially if you log in, they have like a ID that they give you. So they look at what you look at, what job searches you have. And because you signed up with your email, that's why you get emails from Career Builder showing you what specifically, jobs that are that meet your criteria. You don't tell them. They just look at what you click on, right? I worked on that. We're talking hundreds of millions of rows per day of people hitting that website of different. Now it might be 100 million rows, but out of that 100 million rows, it might be, 20 million users, or 12 million users, or 5 million. I don't know. So that's how it works. So one person might hit it and go through 20 pages. Like I just hit dice.com and went through, 20, 30 different pages. That's how users, if you're on there looking for a job, you're not going to just hit it once, right? So I had to work in a project and we were doing what they call ETL. Now this is one of my earlier projects and I actually was in over my head, right? And so what happened, I got the project and we would have these little meetings every morning. And me being a contractor, and I'm going to tell you now, being black and being a contractor, at first they're going to test you and make sure you know your shit. It's a gift. It just takes time. Don't worry about it. Don't be overwhelmed. Okay? Don't be afraid. Fuck them. If they ask you something, look them in the face. And act as though you know some shit. See, in IT, you gotta act like you know, even though you don't know, and you gotta go try to figure that shit out on your own, or at home at night. But one of the biggest things I learned in this industry is to not let people think you don't know something. I know it's fucked up. They look at your resume and see the shit ain't on your resume, but they want you to know how to do it. They want to pay 70, 100, whatever. But if they pay that, they want to get a guy that's worth way more than that. Like I honestly, in my mind, do not feel that I'm worth anything less than $55 an hour, $60 an hour. I don't feel like I'm worth less. Somebody call me and say $30. I'm like, whatever. I guess I take it. The first thing the recruiter asked me, based on my experience, are you going to keep the job? Because I know that's not a lot of money. Now we're talking $1,200 a week, black people. $1,200 a week, a lot of money for an average black person that ain't that. And I'm not saying average like I'm some damn Superman or I'm better than anything about it. I'm not. Ain't nobody. Let me tell you something. You don't need a college degree to do this shit, okay? You don't. I seen white people out there with these damn certifications going straight out of high school, man. Real talk. Straight out of high school, getting the damn certifications, and their ass making north of $100 and some $1,000. Their ass is 21 years old, 19, working on projects and shit, privileged like a motherfucker. Every weekend their ass down in Key West, Florida, or somewhere, every weekend they somewhere. Every other week they taking a vacation with their friends, and they going to the game. If they went to Georgia, they at the games. If Georgia have a bowl game, damn it, they there. That's the type of lifestyle these people live. You can live that lifestyle too, but I say when you get into this type of setting, fuck all that. Live on less than you make. Live on half of your damn money. Don't try to, keep up with the Joneses. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I mean, I can't stress this enough. So, and the reason I'm saying that is important. See, this is the thing. And I had to add this little piece in here because I actually cut the video. But this is the thing. So if it sounds weird, forgive me. I'm trying to pack a little information in here. This is the thing. If you if you jump into these different courses and get these certifications and get these jobs, say you get a job making $85,000 or $90,000 a year, right? You bring home after taxes. That would be about close to 6, somewhere in there, 58, 57, something like that. Every 2 weeks you bring it home like right at 29, somewhere in there, 2,800, somewhere in there, $2,800 every 2 weeks, right? If you live on $1,400 every 2 weeks and put half of that money away, you know how fast I've had times that I've saved up $8,000-9,000 in like the snap of a finger, man. It don't take me nothing to save up $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Usually some shit happen, I wind up having things happen, But I'm just saying that is easy to do. Now, why am I saying that? Like, well, shit, man. What am I gonna do with $7,000? I'm glad you asked. Hold on, I'm gonna show you something. Hold on, people. Okay, now this is called JanPro. On my last video, I mentioned the guy called Everybody Eats AJ Simmons, right? Black dude, franchisee, JanPro franchisee, right? He talks about the JanPro franchise. As you see, now you might have to maximize this screen because I had to shrink it up to get it to fit on one screen. But damn, man. I mean, $950 down and your ass could have a JanPro franchise. Like, that's pretty damn good, man. You know what I'm saying? $950 down, guaranteeing $5,000 a year. I know you're like, well, there ain't no money. I said I could save up $8,000, right? I could save up $7,000, $8,000 fairly easy. It'd probably take me about a month and a half, 2 months. Probably less. I'd have done it less than that, actually. When I really just say, fuck it, I ain't spending no money for the next month and a half. I could save up $10,000. If you put $10,000 down, that's an extra $50,000 a year or $4,000 a month. Now, of course, when they give you that kind of work, you got to manage that shit, which means you got to have people show up and clean and this and that. So it's going to become a business, but that's $50,000 a year on top gross. Of course, now after expenses, I could probably manage that shit down to probably like keeping 35-40% of that. But still, that's pretty good. Go check out that guy's channel, and I'm gonna stop the video right here and go back into my original video. Thank you. Here's a little clip of a guy that took the course just to show you how simple it is to actually get it, and I'm gonna actually put that in there, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like, the actual Salesforce platform. So you'll see that this shit ain't nothing to be like intimidated by. I mean, So thank you.
Here are my 3 tips on acing the Salesforce admin exam. I suggest allocating for this 2 weeks of intensive study and using two essential resources. First of all, look at Mike Wheeler's course on Udemy. It costs, I think, $30. It's a very good investment, very thorough visual understanding of Salesforce. I just studied that very thoroughly and then did practice questions on coreprof.com and passed the exam. As I was doing the courses from Mike Wheeler, I was myself doing got access to the developer license, the free license that Salesforce gives out, and I practiced what he was talking about. I took very, very good notes, analyzed my mistakes from the quizzes, and passed the exam. So looking back, it seems passing the Salesforce admin was not too difficult actually. What was more difficult is actually getting the camera right. It took me 3 tries. I had to reschedule twice. And I was afraid that if I keep rescheduling it or I don't get this right, I'll start forgetting the material. Thankfully it worked. the first time I had to reschedule, it took a while for Salesforce to get back to me, and so I was worried. I didn't know when they will get back, and it was pretty stressful for me because I really wanted to pass this as soon as possible. And I also thought it was strange that Salesforce was slow in getting back, even though it's a CRM company. It's about customer service. But once I wrote to them on Twitter, they were very fast. So Twitter really helped me. And the thing with the camera is that the difficult part is that you need to have a camera that is looking at you from the side and can show the proctor. I took the online exam, both the front, the sides, the back of myself. So that's the part that was more stressful actually than the exam itself. So I was very happy when I passed the exam. It was very encouraging for me, and it made me want to study more and pass some more certifications. I was like, woohoo! So the key here is, just to wrap it up, look at udemy.com and search for Salesforce Admin Exam by Mike Wheeler. I think his is the most popular course there, so you should come up at the top and study it. That's what helped me pass the exam, and good luck to you. I hope you can pass within a week.
As you can see, it was an Asian guy. This is how, if you look at the highest grossing incomes, household incomes in America, the Asians and Indians are at the top when it comes to income. Indians make up 1% of the American Indians. When I talk about Indians, I'm not talking about Native Americans. I'm talking about, and I'm not going to get into what a real Indian is, okay? We can get into that, the Aborigines being black. No, this is not that type of video, okay, people? But the people that they call Native Americans, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about India, the country of India. With the, India with the, I love Indian food. It's delicious. I know people say a lot of black folks don't like it. You get it out to you're going to love Indian food. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Indians from the country of India are by far the highest grossing income. They make damn near 3 times the money that black people make in this country. Okay? So I'm going to add this little last clip, and I ain't going to say nothing else. I might give a little commentary depending on I'm downloading the video as we speak. So I might put a little commentary in the video while he's talking. But this is an Indian guy. If he's not Indian, they Asian. If they're not Indian, Asian, they white. They run this damn industry. This is I ain't gonna say a gold mine, because you'll understand once you make north of 100,000, that ain't really the money you think it is. But even still, I'm just saying that money is the money that you see these people make, and that's why they're able to afford to do the things they do a lot of times. In the last part of the video, if you don't remember, I put the video from Black Men Taking Our Community Back. I'm gonna put that video up here too. That's it. Thank you.
Here you will see profiles. Okay. So there are certain standard profiles which are by default provided by Salesforce. Okay. Ready-made profiles which you can straight away assign to users. And there are certain, you also have an option of creating your own profile. So if you need a profile, as I told you, profile is just a set of permissions, right? So there are some default set of permissions which are there, like contract manager profile, and then there is a marketing user profile, the same way there is a sales user profile. So there are a lot of them which are by default there, and these are default set of permissions. Standard user, system administrator, read-only profile. So, gradually once you start working on it, you will understand which all permissions are there into these standard profiles which are available. Along with these profiles, you also have an option of creating your own profile. So if you feel that you have a requirement which is completely different from what they have provided, you always have an option of going ahead and creating your own profile. You can just click on your profile and then start creating your profile. you can clone it from an existing one and create your own, like clone it from system administrator, give it some other name and start creating it. Not that. So that is what that is how it can be done. Got this? So that's about the profiles. Now let's get into one of the profiles and see how we can change the permissions. Let me go into system administrator. There is a profile that I am using for this user, current user, Venkat. See, you click on the profile. If you want to change certain permissions on the profile, you click on the profile, click on edit. As I told you, the profile controls things like what all apps will be visible. Now, which all apps will be visible through this profile are selected here. If you don't want marketing app to be visible on this profile, turn it off. If you don't want sales app to be visible on this profile, turn it off. If you don't want community app to be visible, so whatever apps you have created, reporting app you have created, you don't want this to be visible on this profile, just turn it off, right? So people who have been assigned this profile, they will only get to see the apps which are made visible to this profile. Pretty simple, right? So what a user will see, not see, what he can do within the Salesforce or not cannot do, that completely depends on his profile. As simple as that. After that, you see the tabs. So there are so many tabs. We have seen accounts, campaigns, opportunities, contacts. There are a lot of them, right? Products. Then there are tabs that you have created, the custom tabs. Candidates, job applications, jobs, there can be more, right? So whether the tab will be visible to the profile users or not, that also is defined here. You can hide a tab from a user, you can make it on, you can make it off. Okay. So what is the difference between tab hidden and default off? Default on means he will get to see the tab, right? Default off means the tab will not be visible on the tab panel, but it will be visible if the user clicks on this button, this plus sign. This is default off. By default, he does not see it on that panel, but if the user clicks on this button, he gets to see that tab on all tabs button. Tab hidden means he will not get to see that tab at all, even by clicking on this. Okay. So it depends, right? Like if you have an app for sales and if you have an app for HR team, you definitely would not want the sales team to see the job applications and things like that, because they would never use it, right? So you can just make those tabs hidden, right? So that was. Then admin permissions, user permissions, and then object permissions. As I told you, for which object the profile has what level of permission: read, create, edit, delete. What level of permissions you are allowing for a certain object to the users of the profile. That is also controlled here. Okay, whether he has a read permission, create permission. But interesting thing is, you don't see any option of changing it. See, this is not editable. This is completely grayed out. So I don't have an option of changing it. Do you see? I click on this, but it does not get turned off. The reason is, this is a standard profile. We are not able to change object permissions on a standard profile. We are not allowed to change object permissions on a standard profile. So on a standard profile, you cannot change the object permission. Whatever object permission is allowed, you just have to work with that. Okay. If you really want to make certain changes on the object permissions and define it the way you want, then you'll have to go with a custom profile. You'll have to create your own profile, right? So this is a restriction with the standard profile. Hello, can you hear me? That's all. Alright. So we were just talking on this thing, that this object level permissions cannot be edited on the standard profile. If you want, see, standard profile they have provided, they have given you a certain set of permission on the objects for every standard profile. After the session, once you go and start opening some of the profiles and browse through them, you will see that there are different set of permissions allowed on different profiles. Now you do not have an option of editing it. Let's say I don't want the delete option to be here. I cannot change it directly here. The way I change the apps and tabs permission, I'm not allowed to change the delete permission and stuff, right? So this can only be done if you are using a custom profile. So no worries, I mean, we do have an option of creating a custom profile. Let's say I just want the system admin profile, which is a standard profile. This is a standard profile, right? It was there by default. I want all the permissions from this profile. The only thing that I don't want here is the delete permission. Okay, let's say I don't want to give the delete permission to this profile users. So what I should do is, because I'm not able to edit that here, what I should do is I should clone this profile, create a new custom profile. I do that and do that. Just go to profiles, click on new profile, select the profile from which you want to clone it. Cloning is just a a way of making your things a little simpler, because you need all other functionalities of system administrator, so you will use system administrator profile to clone it. Sys admin without delete permission. Call it anything, whatever you want. Okay. So now this is my custom profile. This is something that I have created. This was not there earlier. If you click on edit here and scroll down, you will see here you have the option of changing the object permission. So you don't want to give the delete access, your choice. And control it this way. See, this is how it should be done. So remove the delete permissions from them. If you want, you can remove it from all the objects, right? So this list has all the standard as well as custom object. Custom object, I think you all know, right? The ones that you create are called custom.
Now I know this video is getting long, but I had to put this in here right quick because I really want to make this as clear and as plain as possible. The video that you just watched, where the Indian guy was explaining how to create profile, I just put it in there. You know, he shows what you got to do, right? That's what you'll be doing as an administrator. It wasn't, now if that intimidates you, then shit. I mean, you're gonna be trained on it. It's not like, but as you can see, it's just a platform. It's not typing code. Code is one thing to look at 10,000 lines of code and try to figure out what the hell going on and come in and out certain sections so you can see how it works. That shit is way more tedious than just an application that's point and click. That's it. You just got to learn, man. It takes time. In 3 weeks, the becomingproject.org is having a training course. I told you that at the beginning of this video. Now, we are without excuse, man. I'm putting this video out because I love black people. I'm putting this video out because I want us to be better. I don't have but 100 and some subscribers, 140 subscribers, whatever, 42, whatever, right now. So I put this video out because I want y'all to see what the hell going on, man. I want y'all to see what it takes to be successful. We are without excuse, man. Without excuse. There are no excuses. None. If you got to think, People do jobs just working at a fast food restaurant. You know how much shit you gotta learn? I mean, they teach you how to do this, do that, how to take the truck in. What they teach you a lot of shit, you just don't know it because you just accustomed to it being easy. That's not the case, man. And I'm just gonna show you this video right here, and that's it, man. Thank you.
On here, talk to the brothers about, you know, discipline. And you know, this is not for me to brag or anything, because that's not what this is about. What this is about is discipline. You know, I've always been, well, I ain't gonna say I've always been, because I haven't always been disciplined. I've actually not been disciplined, and I've actually had even more money sometimes, even when I was the most undisciplined. But undisciplined money definitely don't last long. And so I wanted to come on here and give brothers some motivation. You know, today, you know, I would say that, you know, this is me living off of, you know, I try to live off less than 50% of my means. You know, this is actually me just taking out a little money for a new property that I'm getting ready to buy. And, you know, I just wanted to kind of just show brothers, you know, what discipline looks like. You know, I don't cheat on my women. I try to stay true to my budgeting. You know, I use that mint.com, you know, for any brothers that want to be on your budget, you want to see where your money is going and coming, get on that mint.com. It'll take you places, high places, definitely. You know, and like I say, man, I just try to be faithful to everything, man, in my life, man. I've tried to be faithful to my diet, try to be faithful to my workout. I try to be faithful, you know, I'm definitely faithful to you know, my women. I just try to live my life as disciplined as possible, because, you know, all it takes, man, is one slip, man. You know, all it takes is one day to cut down a tree that's been growing for 100 years. And, you know, a lot of boys just want to live these reckless lifestyles, but they don't understand that you're squandering, you know, years and years of progress. And it's just not worth it, man. So that's what this video was about. Hope you brothers appreciated this. Like I say, you know, I just had to take out a little money out of one of my accounts to go get ready to redeposit it into another one of my accounts so I can get this property. So, you know, and definitely you don't want to keep all of your money in one account, man. You gotta move it around. So, you know, this is what, you know, my shoebox money, man. You know, I go back to the old school with it. You know, shoebox money. But yeah, you know, and this ain't really no money, man. I don't consider myself, you know, well off, man. I just consider myself a disciplined, you know, I'm a disciplined dude. I'm not well off or nothing like that, you know. I still consider myself broke, man, to be honest with you. This is just, you know, this is just me trying to, you know, step my game up, get my investment game on, and that's it, man. So hope you brothers have a, you know, better understanding of what this disciplined life gets you, man. You know, discipline with my women, discipline with my money, discipline with my budgeting, discipline with my workout, discipline with my eating. Just discipline, man. This is what it looks like, man. This is what it gets you. And guess what? You don't have to look over your shoulders. It's legal money right here. You don't have to look over your shoulders. You don't have to be worried about nothing. You know, you want to pull something out of one of your accounts. This is what you do. But anyways, rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Peace.